Okay, so I've already filmed this once, but I filmed it in too high of a resolution, I guess, so it won't post. Yep, that's 7 minutes I'm never getting back. But I am starting this YouTube channel. I don't have Verona. Got my shot. Um, but I am starting this YouTube channel, and the most requested video as of right now is my coming out story, which isn't much of a story, but obviously there's always a story. So it started when I was in the womb. I decided I was not coming out of my mother's birthing canal. I was a C-section baby. Just kidding, that's totally off topic, but it is funny because I've never touched out. But no, growing up, I was always called gay, or I was told I was gay at like school, like elementary school. Well, not as much as actually, no, 5th grade, yeah, and in middle school a lot. I dated girls, but it was always very uncomfortable. I didn't really know how to act or what to do, so there was that. But I would say in like 5th grade, I knew that I liked guys. And then on February 23rd of this year, last year. I don't know. I just know the date was February 23rd. My mom had like 360, and I was like, oh, I'm going for a ride, blah blah, and my car was parked in a parking lot for like a long period of time. So she texted me and said, what are you doing? And my phone was in my pocket because I was with somebody, and we were talking, so I wasn't like looking at my phone. And she texted me and was like, what are you doing? And I didn't respond, so then she called me like 3 times, and then the 4th time, or it might have been the 3rd time, I picked up, and she was freaking out. She was like, who are you with? Blah, blah, blah. So then I told her, because in the heat of the moment, I couldn't think of a good lie, because like, why would I be sitting in a parking lot? I mean, I could be like, oh, I'm like looking at the water. But for 30 minutes, it kind of gets boring, especially when you're by yourself. So I told her who I was with, and she didn't know his name. So then she looked him up on Instagram because she's like a private investigator, and by his Instagram you can kind of tell. So I got home and I walked in the door, and as soon as I walked in the door, she asked me if I was gay, and I just started crying, and I told her no, and I said I don't know, and then she left for an hour, and I sat in my room and cried. And then she came back, and for the next like week and a half, she just kept asking me questions. She's like, well, you know, you always said that like you would have a wife and like what car she would drive. And obviously I'm gonna say those things because I don't want you to know, as I'm sure most people do. So then I was like, whatever, I'm straight. I don't even think I said I was bi. I'm pretty sure I was like, I'm straight, like whatever. And then in September, I started talking to someone, and at the time, we're still really close, but I had my best friend. We were hanging out a lot, and I didn't want to have to hide who I was anymore, or like, because during that time it was like quarantine, so I wasn't in school, I wasn't around people, I was around like people who cared about me and who I cared about. So I didn't really care at that point, and I was talking to someone, and I didn't want to hide it. So we went to the Sugar Factory. Now the Sugar Factory is this appetizer that has 5 little burgers and they're rainbow. And so I ordered that, and then that was kind of how I came out to her. There was more. Like, she was talking about someone being gay or bi, and then I was like, well, and then I came out, and then she thought I was joking, and she told me that once we left, I would call her or text her and tell her I was joking, and I was like, I'm not going to. And then I showed her who I was talking to, and then she believed me, and then we started hanging out a lot. and like she would stay the night, and her parents started to think that we were dating. So then she called me one day because her dad had made a comment that we were doing stuff, and she called me and she's like, I had to tell him. I was like, that's fine. So then she told her mom and her dad, and then her mom actually didn't believe her. So then she was like, well, you can call Robert's mom, like he's out, blah blah. So, well, I wasn't at the time. I was out to my mom and like certain people, and then I moved in with my grandma, and I came out to her after she had asked me. Like, she had asked me 3 days prior to me coming out to her. We were sitting in the living room, and she had said something about this house across the street, and she was like, oh, it's a gateful house. And I was like, what does that even mean? I was like, you're being homophobic. And she was like, no, blah, blah. Like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but then she asked me if I was gay, and I was like, no. And then I went upstairs, laid in bed, like stressing about it. And then 3 days later, I went downstairs into her room and I told her, and she was like, I knew, like, why didn't you just tell me? And I was like, I was scared. And then I came out to my best friend because I was forced to. I wasn't forced to, but like people knew and were starting to like know, and I didn't want him to hear from someone that wasn't me. And this one girl at our school found out, and she had texted one of my friends and was like, is Robert gay or bi? And as soon as she found out, like, I knew it was gonna spread if I didn't tell everyone. So I I texted him and I was like, hey, I have to tell you something before it spreads. And he was like, yeah, what's up? And I was like, let's get one thing straight, I'm not. And then he was like, I'm confused. And I was like, I'm not anymore. And he still didn't get it because he's a little slow. But he, like, me, him, and my 2 other friends were like joined a FaceTime call. We were just talking about it. And then after that, I didn't really care anymore because he was like the person I was most scared to come out to. So then I just came out on Snapchat so that like everyone would know. And now I post all the time on Instagram and on TikTok about being gay because I want other people to feel like it's okay, like, to be yourself in your own skin, and like it's not like a bad thing, especially during Pride Month. But a lot of people, like, I haven't ever really like received like any hate for it. Some of my family members have made comments, not directly to me, but I've heard comments that they've made. Like, they've told other people, and then the person told me, but no one has made any comments to me. So I haven't really received any hate. But that's pretty much my coming out story. If anyone has any questions, comment down below. I'm gonna be posting more on here now, and comment videos you guys want to see, and then like and subscribe so you can see more of my videos. And that's it. Stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.